Welcome everyone to STEMTogether, where we facilitate discussions involving industry professionals and students on everyday matters involving STEM. Now, today's topic covers the colourful tapestry of our collective ecological and social fabric. Now, parts of which two wonderful guests joining me today will share their contributions to in the light of sustainability and inclusivity. Now, before we engage in discussion, let me first introduce myself and then our invited guests. Hi everyone, I'm Danny from Science Centre Singapore, and I'm pleased to be the facilitator of today's discussion with two wonderful guests. Firstly, Xiaoyun Neo, an International Relations Policy Officer at the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. Xiaoyun, what a delight to have you on STEMTogether. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for the introduction. I've been actually just trying to say yes to every opportunity that comes my way, including, speaking to the Science Centre. I'm pleased to be on board today.
Wonderful. And secondly, Cathleen Ong, a Secondary 2 student leader at Nanyang Girls High and a member of the Nature Society there. Kathleen, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be participating in this discussion today.
Xiaoyun and Kathleen, given your passion for sustainability and inclusivity, I can't think of better candidates to have on our program today. Thank you both for joining STEMTogether. Now, today's discussion will cover three areas. Firstly, nature, undertaking the untamed. Secondly, nurture, cultivating a community. And thirdly, the narrative, what's next? So for the first pillar, Xiaoyun, looking through your LinkedIn profile, I saw a colorful array of experiences involving nature and humanity. What inspired you to go this way in caring for the environment?
Definitely really colorful. Because, when you're in the environmental field, you just get so many opportunities to open up your eyes to the world. I think it all started when I was 11, when I watched the documentary An Inconvenient Truth by Al Gore. It was actually just Al Gore standing in front of a PowerPoint slide and showing how the devastating and significant impacts of human action on the climate in terms of warming and how that has exacerbated inequalities across the world. First they'll lead to of course all the climate crisis and associated flooding events or drought events, and that would have impacts on society. When I learned about that, I think I was really my worldview probably shifted even at that young age. But thankfully, when I went to Bhutan for a JC field trip, I was really lucky to feel reconnected to Mother Nature. And I realized that this is something that I really care for. I felt that this strong sense and ethic of care, and I brought that spirit back. So for Untamed Paths, I think we really try to make these opportunities to see our flora and flora accessible to people. I think a lot of Singaporeans are really interested. You can tell because in Circuit Breaker, CNA actually released a bunch of documentaries about our wildlife, and these are all really well viewed and there's good reception. So I think we are interested in what we have, but we don't know where to start or how to identify. So this is why we really try to make science communication accessible, and so that's the accessibility part. And of course, it links to sustainability, because beyond knowing about the creature, it's also realizing that this animal needs an ecosystem, it needs a place, it needs all the ecological buffer zones offered by our parks and nature reserves. So those places are deserving of protection. We need to keep the green lungs in our city, because they facilitate, animals' movement, reproduction, foraging, and so on and so forth.
Thanks, Xiaoyun. And how about you, Kathleen? I hear from your teacher, your science teacher, Mr. John Lee, that you're very passionate about sustainability. What got you so interested in nature?
To be honest, I was not a very nature person when I was young. But ever since like I've joined the Nature Society, I've been provided with a lot of opportunities to develop my passion for nature and biodiversity. And even though there were COVID restrictions, at the end of last year, we were able to go on some few trips. For example, to St. John's Island, where we learned about marine like biodiversity, and we got like there was this marine biologist who showed us around St. John's Island, and I was very it was very new to me. It was a very new experience, and I felt like I felt a sense of serenity that humans can't give me. And another example of a field trip that I've been on is like Xiaoyun. She conducts Intertidal Walks, and I've been to one of them. And the one that I've been to is one at Pulau Ubin, and it's at the Chek Jawa wetlands. So on that day, unfortunately it rained halfway, but we were still able to walk through the whole Chek Jawa wetlands. Right now my CCA is like working with a vendor called Food Citizen. So like we are in a way improving our backyard garden to bring more biodiversity. And then like a project that we are doing is like having a water fun feature, sort of. Basically, we dig up a pond and we put like some species of fish and like plants inside, and then after that, like like frogs got naturally introduced to the backyard garden, and I feel that it's also really cool because like in my backyard garden we've seen hornbills before, and they are like really big.
Yes.
It's just very fascinating to see all the biodiversity. And the other day I saw a really cute frog. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I can really tell your passion from the way that you share about your time in nature. It's such a getaway from you, almost like a release.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Wow. All right, let's move on to our second pillar, which is nurture, cultivating a community. Xiaoyun, your long lineup of past leadership stints are well noted, including, for example, at Yale NUS, where you had held at least, I think, 5 leadership positions across a range of extracurricular activities. Now, one of which included being president of the Yale NUS Sustainability Movement over 2016-2017. Now, I'm not sure if you remember what that was like over 4 years ago, being president of the movement. Can you recall what it was like?
Yeah, I mean, UNS is really young. So when I took over, I was only the second president. Basically, what we did, we had already a few pillars. So yeah, Kathleen really reminded me of our student days. We have these work groups as well.
Nice.
I was just in charge of ensuring everyone's welfare, ensuring that the projects were each pushing and they got the support that they needed. So I think wasn't really like dictatorial or like very hierarchical. I was myself involved in lots of these work groups too. So for instance, there's a blueprint group which promotes sustainable policies to schools. Basically, we look at other universities in UK and US and we're like, hey, UNUS, you want to be as good as them, right? Like, so we need to be as green as them as well. So that includes like trying to reduce the aircon temperature, institute green and healthy Mondays in the dining halls, and also like trying to the Green and Healthy Monday did eventually take off because we managed to get a few other student groups that were interested in it. So it was the Sustainability Movement, the Animal Allies group, the Yale NUS Hindu Society. Because of their religion, they are typically vegetarian. So we got a alliance of a few student groups, and we wrote a letter. We got the Dean of Students approval, and in one of our dining halls on Mondays, we had Green and Healthy Monday. So it was really like aesthetic. I can distinctly remember when it opened up, everyone was just like, wow, this is so like pretty aesthetic. Like, because the center aisle had like a huge like backdrop of fruits that were not cut, like they were just as backdrop, and then they were like cheeses laid out and then you can make your own salads and burritos, all green. And that day we also used it as an educational day because IDECO is the short form of the sustainability movement. It's like our eco, IDECO. So we had this board game where we got people to guess the food miles and also the amount of carbon produced by each food item. So like mutton, chicken, beef, fish, so on and so forth, and the difference if it's locally produced fish versus imported fish. So we got that. I remember we even got like a few like vegan bodybuilders to give speeches.
Let me switch over to Cathleen. Cathleen, you're a leader in the school. You're a member of the Nature Society. You work as a group. How do you inspire and change within the society and even in school through what you do?
Okay, firstly, like I feel that it's important to believe that you can and you are able to. That's the first step in like inspiring change, in my opinion. And like honestly, you can just start from your close friends and family. It doesn't have to start on a big scale. Like as someone who is a student leader in school, I feel like nudging those around me to develop like habits and like somehow inspire behavioral change is like basically it's what inspires me to keep on going when I see their faces and like I somehow am able to notice their growth. Like basically as someone who like tries to inspire their family and friends, I'm always motivated to keep on going because I feel that whenever I inspire some sort of change, like for example, getting people to contribute to recycling 8 cartons and toilet rolls for my zero waste Nanyang competition all aboard, it's like I just feel that I'm not content enough. I'm not like contented with it yet, and like I want to keep on going and like pushing myself to inspire more change and like as much as I can. And that's basically the mindset I adopt, and like I just feel that it's like never give up, even though no matter how cliche it might sound. Like basically that's what I want to convey.
The final pillar for today, the narrative. What's next for you and the community? Xiaoyun, clearly age poses no limits, or not, I haven't heard any so far, as you've gone ahead to explore and apply yourself early in life, and you've found fulfillment in nurturing nature and serving the community in the process. Now, where do you see yourself going from here?
I think that's really hard to say. It sounds like a career counseling session I had to go for recently. I'm 2 years into my job and I have 2 more years to go because I'm on a scholarship. Because of the scholarship, it's really allowed me to explore this passion because they were so free with me changing my major and all that, because I was previously a history major, but I got more and more interested in environmental studies, and I took the leap of faith. And I think that has been a great choice. So in my work, I do like civil aviation policy, international relations. My next career switch will be towards safety policy and planning. So I hope that gives me the skills of like critical thinking, working with stakeholders, maybe just the general spirit of learning about the system, about the civil aviation system. And for those biodiversity advocates, my message for you is, you are young, I'm young too. So I'm just speaking from experience. My thinking about this is we're going to be environmentalists till the day we die. The world's not going to get better, so we're going to be in this journey for like 60, 70 more years. So I think just find a path for advocating social change that is sustainable for you as well. Meaning like take care of yourself first, figure out your own personal beliefs and find a way that aligns with that. That is that takes care of yourself as well before you can take care of the environment. So I hope you find your path.
Let's bounce over to Cathleen. Kathleen, where will you take your passion from here? Do you see yourself potentially involved in, like, for example, I don't know, biodiversity research in future?
Okay, so I'm basically like participating in this other competition right now, which is like called Sustainability in Schools. It's organized by Zero Waste SG with Microsoft, and basically I'm hoping to implement a plan. I think I briefly talked about the plan just now. Basically using the incentive system to incentivize students to bring their own cup, straws, and containers. So and I also hope to focus more on curbing fast fashion and like work with external partners to produce more sustainable school-based t-shirts for Nanyang, and like steering the interest group Zero Waste Nanyang to focus more on fast fashion awareness, hopefully in the upcoming year, and conduct fashion swaps when the COVID situation is like easing, because I realized that a lot of the student body in my school right now, they are quite focused on like fashion. So I was thinking if you were able to conduct a fashion swap, it will be like very popular, because like
Yes, champion is definitely what you are, and championing so many things. And I think a real asset to your school. Your school must be beamingly proud, I think, of all that they've heard so far on this program. Very ambitious goals, and definitely I think you're the right person for that. I think you definitely have the zeal, I think, to see through a lot of the things that you're mentioning. All the best for the competition as well.
Thank you.
With that, I want to thank our guests Xiaoyun and also Cathleen for contributing to this discussion on sustainability and inclusivity. I've certainly learned a lot from your candid sharing, and I hope the rest of our viewers have as well. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to STEMTogether, please hit that notification bell to subscribe. And if you're viewing the series on Facebook, click follow. Now, remember to like and share this video with your friends. Stay tuned for our next conversation. This is Danny with my guests Xiaoyun and Cathleen signing out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.